Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your girl Adriana DC. Tonight I'm going to be giving you guys my top 15 Middle Eastern fragrances in my perfume collection. Those of you who follow me regularly, you know every year I give you guys a top 10 oud fragrance lineup, or I give you a ranking of my top 20 oud fragrances in my perfume collection. This year I have a mixture of ouds and fragrances that do not have in oud. So I'm going to be giving you guys my top 15, my most favorite Middle Eastern fragrances in my perfume collection. You guys know right about now, Middle Eastern fragrances are very, very popular and there have been a lot of new releases. However, I am absolutely true to my Middle Eastern vibes. I like my fragrances more Middle Eastern leaning. And I noticed the Middle Eastern brands are trying to be more mainstream and bring out a lot of fruity florals, and this collection is strictly Middle Eastern leaning fragrances, so to speak, for the most part at least. So if you guys are into, you know, Middle Eastern vibes and you guys want to see my top most favorite Middle Eastern fragrances, then by all means keep on watching. If you guys are new here, please do hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit the notification bell so that way you will be notified every single time I upload. If you guys are my returning subscribers, thank you for your continuous support. And yeah, so let's just dive right into the video. All right, so the first fragrance I'm gonna tell you guys about is actually one of the most recent purchases, okay, my most recent discovery. But when I smelled this fragrance, I was like, oh my god, the heavens probably sang, you guys. Like, this scent was so beautiful. And the fragrance I'm talking to you guys about is French Coffee by Rehab, you guys. Now, I've been seeing this bottle just pop up here and there, okay? And I think I saw Sea Chronicles, you know, talking about this scent, and I was like, oh my god, I need to try this, you know. I was so, you know, anticipating a beautiful coffee oud fragrance from Kylie. We didn't get it, so I'm still in search for it and I'm thirsty for it. So when I saw this fragrance on Sea Chronicles channel, I was like, oh yeah, I need this perfume. Immediately went and looked for it and copped it off of eBay, and it arrived and I was in love. Like, love at first sniff. Like, I'm telling you guys, this is an absolutely intoxicating fragrance. So this fragrance features notes of coffee, vanilla, cinnamon, some sugar milk, some cacao, and of course some caramel. Okay, now let me tell you, what does this perfume smell like? Now, I told you guys in my last video that I do not drink coffee. However, if I was to drink coffee, this is how I would love my coffee. This is a warm caramel coffee latte, you guys. You get like the caramel essence, like a caramel toffee essence in this fragrance. You get the milky touches. It is smooth, it is warm, it comes off really, really creamy. And this is by far the most intoxicating gourmand fragrance that I have in my perfume collection. It smells like coffee mixed with caramel toffees, you guys. And the milk in here, so it's creamy, it's warm. It's almost like, just think of a caramel coffee latte with the milk foaming up at the top of the cup. And that's the vibe. The warmth, you know, that cozy, soothing feeling that you get. And I will admit, you know, smelling coffee on a really cold day, and I have drank it before, when you drink coffee on a really cold day, it's the most soothing thing ever. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. And this is captured all in this bottle right here, you guys. This is an absolutely scrumptious smelling fragrance. This is by far the best gourmand scent that I have in my collection. And even though it smells so much like a realistic coffee, it doesn't put you off as in smelling too edible and not like a fragrance, because you guys know how I feel. I do not like a fragrance to smell too edible, like chocolate greedy. I love chocolate greedy, but it is more edible, like extremely edible smelling. So I do tend to layer chocolate greedy. This perfume does not require any layering at all. As a matter of fact, the fragrance, it smells intoxicating, but the caramel note, okay, while you enjoy the caramel note, it's kind of like almost a stifling feeling to the caramel, okay? And it's stifling, but it's like it's cut short by all the other notes. It's like either the perfume or the perfumer know what they were doing with the caramel to make it, very prominent, but not, kind of stifling the fragrance, because I have smelled fragrances where caramel completely stifle the perfume, and if you spray too much you are overwhelmed. But when I spray this fragrance a lot, it kind of like fizzles out really quickly, in that kind of way. So it is comforting, and it most definitely smell. It's definitely like a fall central fragrance, definitely, a scent that you want to smell on a cold fall or winter's day. But you guys, let me tell y'all, French coffee is everything and more. I will, however, say to you, I've been testing this fragrance out for a couple of days, because when I saw this, this fragrance being reviewed, should I say, even when you read the reviews on Fragrantica, it says that it's beast mode, it's long lasting, it's this, it's that. And I'm gonna say to you, that's not the case. This perfume does not last that long on me at all. I've been testing it out like 3 times. I get that fragrances need to macerate a little bit, but I have been trying this fragrance for the last 3 days and it does not last on me. So obviously I'm anticipating this fragrance macerating a little bit more and becoming as heavy as people say. I have never had a Middle Eastern fragrance in my perfume collection that doesn't project like crazy. So this one is, it has a really beautiful scent, but it definitely isn't like a beast mode projector at all. And neither is it, if when it comes to longevity either. But I am absolutely in love. In terms of performance, it's giving me somewhat rouge smoking vibes, you guys. I kid you not. So yeah, otherwise than that, this is the most, again, most realistic coffee smelling fragrance ever. I don't know about all the others, but this one right here, I don't see anything topping this, you guys. So this is my first Middle Eastern fragrance, one of my most favorite ones, like one of my best discoveries this year. And this is French Coffee by Rehab. Next up is one of my all-time favorite oud fragrances from Latafa that I've been raving about, for the past like 2-3 years. And this one is Opulent Oud, you guys. And this is one out of a trio. I think it has 4 now, but initially it had a trio of scents that came in this bottle from Latafa. It was the heaviest, of course. It was the heaviest, and I think I love this one the most out of all 3, even though the white one was really, really nice as well. I did have that one as well, but I gave it to my cousin. So tonight I'm only going to feature my Opulent Oud, but I love the smell of this fragrance. This is so this is an ambery, woody, extremely woody, oudy, caramelly, vanilla. There's some saffron in here, so there's a hint of spice in it, powdery smelling fragrance. It smells a little bit dusty and powdery, okay? There is a very prominent patchouli note in this perfume, which is what's giving off the slight dustiness in the fragrance, and then the amber. Right now, I haven't pulled for this fragrance in a long time, obviously, because this is a fall and winter scent. So, I want to pull for it during the season. And I want to say the patchouli is a lot more prominent than I recall. Before, I got more of the saffron, the spices, and the vanilla and the caramel. But it's a beautiful, powdery, oudy, very prominent patchouli, woody scent with the essence of amber, vanilla, and caramel. And it is an absolute banger. This is actually a scent that I pull for on date nights, okay? On those cold date nights when you're heading out, you want something. And even though it's an oudy scent, it's not an overpowering fragrance when you wear it. It actually settles down on the skin really beautifully, especially in your clothes. And it stays on your clothes or your jacket that you wear like for days, you guys. But I think it's a really beautiful smelling fragrance. And this is truly an opulent, oudy, Middle Eastern smelling fragrance that I actually pull for on date nights, you guys. So this is Opulent Oud by Latafa. The next fragrance I'm telling you guys about is a scent that I, again, absolutely fell in love with when I discovered this fragrance. You guys would have probably seen me rave about this scent, I think last fall and the fall before that, because this scent was truly impressive. Not just the scent, but the package as well. And the scent I'm talking about is Her Highness Black, you guys. You probably have not seen this bottle in a minute. I mean, it's been right here. But yeah, again, this is a perfume though that can be worn all year round. This is a beautiful, florally, slightly spicy floral fragrance with the essence of plum. There's some jasmine, tuberose, some musk in the base, and there's also some patchouli. There's a beautiful, sexy, warm, florally fruity essence in this perfume. The plum is what's standing out, but the florals are backing up the plum note in this fragrance absolutely beautifully. And then it dries down. It's kind of, I want to say, it kind of like fizzles out into the base of this fragrance, and you can the patchouli is like finely blended, because the fragrance does not smell heavy. It doesn't have like a it does have that patchouli note, but this is not a rough or a loud patchouli. It's kind of like finely blended throughout the fragrance, mixing with those florally notes and the plum, and I think there's some black pepper as well in the opening. This is a scrumptious smelling fragrance, you guys, and it is indeed beast mode. This is a very strong, long-lasting fragrance. It projects like crazy. It stays on you all day, and as it dries on, you get a lot more of the florals, you guys. This one is actually from Afnan, and this is a spectacular smelling perfume that can be worn all year round. So this is Afnan Her Highness Black. This is my third most favorite Middle Eastern fragrance in my perfume collection. Next up is the beautiful Her Highness Red, you guys, and this one of course is, you know, part of the Her Highness Black range. They're both in the same collection, and this one is slightly different. This one is a much more fruity, punchy, slightly floral, heavy on the musky smelling type of fragrance. Okay, it has something slightly tart, spices and musk in here. So, and this fragrance is, it just comes off like a beast mode, fruity, a little bit tart, punchy, musky smelling perfume. It's a really beautiful smelling fragrance. You get these citrusy elements in the opening, so there are some like a pineapple-y essence in the opening of this perfume, mixing with a few other sweet fruity elements. The note structure only lists fruity notes and floral notes. So yeah, these the notes that's featured in here so comes off punchy, a little bit sharp, citrusy, and very fruity, and it mellows out into the florals and of course the musk backing up this fragrance. Beautiful perfume that once again projects like crazy. This one is a little bit more louder than the Her Highness Black, you guys, but this is a powerhouse of a fragrance. This is a solid fragrance from Afnan, you guys, and the bottle is even more like exciting. This is a beautiful fragrance, quite heavy. Again, this is a perfume that can be worn all year round because of the, you know, how strong the scent is. It's not overwhelming at all, but this is just a fragrance with a very strong presence and a strong body that projects like crazy and lasts like all day long. And while you're wearing it, you actually smell this beautiful fragrance, you guys. So Her Highness Red, again, these are, I would say, like my die-hard Middle Eastern fragrances. I know there's a lot of new ones out, but these are my die-hard faves that I discovered, like, as you know, when I started really getting into Middle Eastern fragrances. So this is Her Highness Red. Next up, we have Shuyukh from Latafa, you guys. And for those of you who have been following me, you guys probably would have seen my, you know, my initial haul of this scent and, you know, my wearing experience with this fragrance. This is a heavy ass fragrance. This is a big boy, okay? This is an overly strong smelling fragrance in line with Shuyukh Oud, but a little bit lighter and a little bit more transparent. So this fragrance is a spicy rose and cinnamon smelling fragrance with some ambery touches and some woodsy notes. Very heavy on the saffron and the rose. It's all about the saffron and the rose mixing with those ambery touches in this fragrance and slight woody notes. This is strong, okay? This is quite similar to Oud Bouquet and of course Shuyukh Oud, but it's a bit more transparent. Now, don't let that fool you, you guys, because again, I wore this fragrance once and this perfume almost took me out, okay? This is one of the most strongest projecting fragrances in my perfume collection that is beyond beast mode, okay? As in, if I spray one, you know, spritz of this perfume on my hand, it will light up this whole room and stay with me until tomorrow morning, you guys. This is a big boy. This is a heavy fragrance that I have learned to wear ever so sparingly. So when I wear this fragrance, I literally spray it to the back of my jacket and just let it spruce, and I might spray one to the front, and that is all I need from this beautiful fragrance. This beautiful strong perfume that comes off light, not obnoxious unless you go to town with it. then you won't be able to breathe, you guys. But Shuyukh by Latafa, this is one of my first discoveries from Latafa, and I still enjoy this fragrance because the impact that the scent profile has every single time that I smell it. So this is Shuyukh by Latafa. Next up, we have Bade Oud Amethyst by Latafa. This is my favorite so far in these bottles from Latafa. I haven't tried the red one, I haven't tried the white one, but between this one and the black one, this one is my favorite. And this is like a fruity, a little bit citrusy, jammy rose with some heavy amber and heavy oud. Okay, that's what I get, like a heavy amber, heavy oudi essence. It almost comes off like a very heavy dose of patchouli in this fragrance. It doesn't list patchouli, but it's all about the jammy rose in this fragrance. A very jammy, spicy rose with the essence of amber. And of course, there is some vanilla in here. So, but it's like a nice fruity sweetness to this fragrance that you can't really get a lot of the vanilla. You're just getting like a really jammy, sweet rose backed up by an oudi, somewhat patchouli like base, in my opinion. I know some people kind of refer to the, as you know, the patchouli vibe that I'm getting from this scent. They refer to it as rubbery. I'm not really getting rubbery, but again, even though the fragrance does not list patchouli, it does smell like that. I'm guessing the oud or the agarwood in here, so it's more wood than oudi in my opinion. However, that's what I'm getting from this fragrance. It smells heavy, it smells strong. I do get somewhat of the rubbery vibe, but it's more leather in my opinion. It's a heavy, strong, fruity perfume that can be worn like in the nighttime, summer nights in particular, and of course during the fall. It's a beautiful rose focused fragrance to wear during the fall. I know we like our spicy, woody, ambery scent, and it does have an amber in it. This for me is one of my top favorite Middle Eastern fragrances, and it's more on the playful side, but again, it has that, you know, strong baseline. It has that true resemblance to Middle Eastern fragrances, which is what I absolutely love in a Middle Eastern perfume. I like my Middle Eastern fragrances to be straight Middle Eastern, you guys. So this is Bade Oud Amethyst from the Latafa range. Next up, we have Kalemat Black, which is again a Middle Eastern fragrance that I discovered, like, you know, when I just started getting into these scents. This is not a fragrance that people rave about right now that much, but back then this fragrance was like known to be like the best Middle Eastern fragrance, the best smelling fragrance ever. That's how a lot of people spoke about this perfume, and I was just over the moon. I decided, like, if I'm gonna dive into Middle Eastern fragrances, I have to explore them all. So I bought this beautiful scent from, again, a brand called Arabian, which features, you know, more niche Middle Eastern smelling fragrances. So this one is a little bit more pricier in comparison to Latafa scents, but it is absolutely scrumptious. So this perfume, it features some basil notes in the opening, some basil fruity notes with some vanilla in the heart. There's also some oud in here, so you definitely get the oud, but it's overall, this is a sweet, spicy. You definitely get the basil in here, so but it's very like it's well blended with those fruity notes in the opening. Of course, you get the sweetness from the vanilla and the oud in here. So there's some Cambodian oud in here, but the oud is like, it's very like a laid back oud in this fragrance. So it's not a balanced oud. You're not getting a very prominent oudi vibe. You're just getting a really a sweet, almost honey like ambery, lightly spiced fragrance in my opinion. There's also some incense in this fragrance, but personally I don't get incense. To wrap this scent up in a nutshell, it smells like sweet honeycombs with some vanilla and slight oud, like crisp honeycombs, fresh crisp honeycombs with some spice and a little bit of an ambery feel to the fragrance. This is what this perfume smells like. This is the epitome of sweater weather. It is cozy. It just, you know, it just feels like a very warm, you know, fall centric fragrance. This is fall all the way. It is a beautiful smelling fragrance that lasts really long, and it projects like crazy, you guys. This is a very cozy smelling perfume, and I absolutely love this scent. I pull it out every year, obviously for fall and winter. I recently featured, you know, the original Kalemat in a lineup I did, but yeah, in this one I decided to include this one because this one lists that note of oud, and it smells a lot more sweeter in my opinion, whereas the other one is soft, it's warm and cozy, but it's not as sweet as the Kalemat Black. So this is Kalemat Black from Arabian Ouds. This is one of my absolute favorite oud fragrances, or favorite Middle Eastern fragrances in my perfume collection. Next up, this is my all-time favorite, my overall favorite, as in I'm giving you guys 15 Latafa fragrances, and out of all these 15 fragrances, this one is my favorite. And for those of you who follow me on a regular, you know what I'm talking about. My beloved Ameer Oud Intense. This is just such a nice smelling perfume, you guys. This is a smoky, sugary, sweet, oudy, woodsy smelling fragrance with the essence of vanilla and some herbal notes in the base. It is like, it's cozy, it's warm. It has this like really nice woody, like smoky, sweet, sugary vibe in the heart of the perfume, which I find to be the most intoxicating, part of the scent. When you smell it, like when you like take a hit of this perfume, it is the most like intoxicating scent. It's like the most comforting and cozy and addictive scent that you can possibly think of. This is fall. Okay, this is what fall smells like. This is like, cooped up in a cabin on a cold winter night where you and your partner just sit in front of the fireplace and either roast marshmallows, sip on some chocolate tea. Obviously, this fragrance doesn't feature chocolate, but whatever makes you feel nice and cozy and warm and cuddled up and kind of like, just comforted under each other's body warmth. This is, the vibe that comes to mind when I think about this fragrance, you guys. This is my absolutely favorite Middle Eastern perfume. One scent that if you ever decide to dive into Middle Eastern scents, you need to smell it. And it is like probably one of the best, okay, if not the best. All right. And you have to appreciate, again, a true Middle Eastern feel. Apparently this scent is inspired by the fireplace. I smelled by the fireplace, and by the fireplace is flat. Okay, this is not. This is good, according to Sherry. So this is Ameer Oud Intense, my absolute favorite Middle Eastern fragrance. Next up is one of my first discoveries again. And this is one of the scents that started my obsession into oud or Middle Eastern fragrances. And I'm talking about my Raghba from Latafa, you guys. This is where it started for me in particular. This is a boozy, incensey, oudy, sugary, sweet, vanilla smelling fragrance. Okay, it smells like incense, sugar, vanilla, and oud, and it smells boozy. As this fragrance settles and, like, throughout the life of this fragrance, it's coming out even more boozy. And when you spray it, you get the sugar, you get the sugary sweetness in here. So I think there's some musk in here as well, and the incense is like really strong in the fragrance, but it makes the scent even more intoxicating, in my opinion. This is a beautiful smelling fragrance, you guys. I know a lot of people, struggle with this one because they said the incense smells like wet wood. It does have a slight vibe of that, but I want to say it's more towards the dry down, because, again, I haven't sprayed this perfume in a while, again, because I only bring it out in the fall and winter. And smelling on my hand, it smells even more intoxicating, like even more nicer than I recall, that kind of way. So nice. You get the incense, oud, the sweetness, the sugar, and the vanilla. So Raghba by Latafa, this will always be one of my most favorite Middle Eastern fragrances, because this is just straight Middle Eastern vibes, you guys, like all the way. Not a bunch of fruit and citrus and all that good stuff. Not that I don't like that, but when I think about Middle Eastern fragrances, I want oud, I want Dubai, I want spices. I want to feel like I'm in the Middle East, okay? So this is Raghba by Latafa. Next up is Supremacy In Oud by Afnan. And this one here, this was sent to me, I think, early up in the year, or maybe last year. And I want to say this fragrance, I loved it when I smelled it, but I love it even more now. Something about this perfume smells so good. This is, first of all, it opens up with some nutmeg, saffron in the opening. There is some sweet notes in the heart of this fragrance, mixing with some oud, and in the base, you have your patchouli and your leather. Now, what do I get from this perfume? This is a sugary sweet leather scent. A sugary sweet leather and patchouli fragrance. This is sugar and patchouli and leather with a hint of spices in it. That's pretty much what you get from this perfume. I love the way this perfume smells. It is heavy on the leather and the patchouli, but it's not like a it's a really balanced mixture of sweet notes in the patchouli and the leather. So it smells like a sugared patchouli leather fragrance. That's what this fragrance smells like. And it is even more comforting. It has somewhat of a slight chocolatey feel, you guys. It is sensual, it is dark, it is borderline unisex in my opinion. But I am finding this fragrance to be ever so comforting and warm and a cozy scent to put for during the fall, you guys. So Supremacy in Oud, this is definitely one of my top favorite Middle Eastern fragrances to pull for during the fall season. Next up, we have the ever so popular Oud Mood by Latafa. You guys, one of the original creations that kind of opened our eyes to the whole world of Middle Eastern fragrances. Oud Mood opens up with some rose and saffron. Now, the rose and saffron here so is not as prominent as in the Shuyukh, even though these scents are quite similar. Okay, so Oud Mood has in some rose, some saffron. In the heart, there is some caramel, some patchouli, and of course some oud. In the base, you have some resins. There's also some incense and some musk in the base of this fragrance, you guys. This is a beautiful smelling fragrance. Again, it's similar to Shuyukh, but it's not as transparent and not as citrusy, not as airy, because of course the rose is playing a bigger role in Shuyukh than Oud Mood. This is patchouli, oud, some sweetness in here, so, and of course some musk. Patchouli, oud, some sweetness, and some musk. Similar to, again, I want to say to you guys, these fragrances have somewhat of a similar feel for me in particular, because again, it's playing on those notes of patchouli, amber, and oud, floral and sugary notes. But that is what I like in Middle Eastern fragrances. I like those spicy, oriental vibes in my fragrances. So all these scents feature, a lot of those spices and stuff like that. But these fragrances, they do have, differences in the scent profile, you guys. Oud Mood is an absolute banger, you guys, and this is definitely one of my most favorite Middle Eastern fragrances in my perfume collection. Next up, we have Khamrah by Latafa, and this is one of my newer additions, newer discoveries from the brand, because I had kind of like, I've been sleeping on Latafa for a minute, but oh my lord, you guys. And that's why I featured it so far down in the video, to show you guys, like, from the beginning, my favorite starting from then to now. So now I'm going to bring you guys more of the more recent discoveries that I've made. Khamrah is everything and more. This is a spicy sweet dates, praline. There's some vanilla. It's warm, it's spicy, it's sweet, it's a little bit boozy, it's sexy, it's intoxicating, it's everything and more. There's some Aki Gallowwood in here, so slight, I guess the brand meant to kind of give the fragrance somewhat of a slight Middle Eastern vibe to it, and I am in love. This is what I want. This is what I like, you guys. This is a boozy bottle of sexiness, you guys, with a slight Middle Eastern twist to it. It is not a dupe of Killian Angel shares. I don't care what you say, but this is back up bottle worthy. I love that it's affordable, and I'm trying to resist the urge to buy a next bottle, because you guys know I don't wear my fragrances very quickly, so it's gonna be just sitting there. But I'm so happy. It makes me so happy to have this fragrance in my collection and sitting on my dressing table. Like, I thought Killian Angel shares was like a really eye-catching bottle, but oh my god, nonetheless, you guys, this scent profile right here, whew, this is just like one of the sexiest of them all, and I am absolutely in love. This is definitely one of my most favorite Middle Eastern fragrances, you guys. So this is Khamrah by Latafa. Next up, we have the ever so beautiful and ever so well loved Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. Again, this is one of the newest additions to my collection, and boy, am I in love. This is, I want to say, it comes off like an ambery, spicy, caramel smelling fragrance. That's it. Amber, spice, and caramel. And of course, the appley notes in the opening. It opens up with a very warm apple essence in this fragrance. Slight citrusy, but it just goes into a beautiful, thick, warm body. And then it goes into a spicy, ambery, caramel base. There's some suede and some musk in here. So, and you kind of get the slight suede essence, but you're so captivated by the warm spiciness and the apple and, the sweetness of this perfume. like you're just like swept off your feet. This is a scrumptious smelling fragrance, you guys. This is a perfume that I can wear in constant rotation. It's just that these fragrances smell so good. I take it hard to like wear. I don't know, the more I like a perfume, the less I wear it, because I'm just like, no, save it, just save the perfume, right? Which is such a bad habit that I have. But this is a perfume that I can see myself pulling for like on a daily basis. This is a really nice smelling fragrance, very comforting, very intoxicating. And even though it does warm up on the skin, it's like it's not a hard fragrance to wear, provided you don't overspray it, in my opinion. So that's what I love about this scent and Khamrah as well. All of my other fragrances are heavy on the patchouli, heavy on the oud, but these ones are a bit more on the softer side, so you can pull for these fragrances on a daily basis. So Casablanca, you guys, this is one of my most favorite Middle Eastern discoveries, favorite Middle Eastern fragrances that I absolutely love, especially for the fall season. So this is Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. Next up, we have Choco by Rehab. You guys, this is like heaven on earth. And I'm going to be singing that all night throughout this video, because these fragrances truly smell like heaven on earth. This is a warm, spicy, milky, chocolatey, sweet, vanilla smelling fragrance, you guys. Beautiful smelling fragrance. It smells like a milk chocolate. That's what it smells like. It smells like a dairy milk chocolate essence in this perfume. There is some musk. You definitely get the musk in this fragrance. There's some sandalwood, so it dries down kind of creamy. Now, they've made this fragrance like, again, another intoxicating gourmand scent, but it's not too overly cloying, not too clammy with the sweetness. And again, it smells as good edible as it does smell like a perfume. Really comforting, really warm, sexified smelling fragrance. Very easy to wear. One of the most like scrumptious smelling, you know, Middle Eastern scents, you guys. And it's not too sweet. There's a light fresh airiness to this perfume that you just thoroughly enjoy, and it lingers on the skin and it projects like crazy, you guys. This one projects a lot more than the French coffee. Unfortunately, you definitely get the chocolates and the vanilla in here, so a lot more. The milk chocolate and the vanilla in here, so a lot more. So Choco Moss, this right here, even though it's fairly new to my collection, this one is definitely one of my most favorite Middle Eastern fragrances. Like, these are scents that you just like can't help but just keep on smelling yourself. Or even when I walk across my collection, these are the bottles. This is one of the bottles that I often pull for and just sniff, you guys. It's all about the Middle Eastern fragrances, I'm not gonna lie, especially for fall season. So Choco Moss by Rehab, this is definitely one of my top bests when I think of, you know, Middle Eastern scents. And last but by no means least, we have the Raghba Wood Intense, which is the intense version of Raghba. Okay, this fragrance is an intoxicating, caramelized, powdery, woody scent. Okay, it smells like sugary sweet caramel. Okay, kind of like melted, but not melted till you get the smokiness, and not melted till you get that bitterness. But it's just when the, you know, the sugar starts to melt, and say you combine it with like powder and like a woody essence, and that's what you get from this perfume. This fragrance, it has in every type of wood you could possibly think of: cedar wood, cashmere wood, sandalwood. Of course, there's some vanilla in here so as well, and there's guaiac wood as well in this perfume. Not very heavy on the oud. It's all about wood. It's a beautiful, soft, powdery, caramelized fusion of every type of woody essence that you can possibly think of, topping it off with the sweetness that makes this fragrance truly intoxicating, very warm and very cozy feeling, you guys. This is one of my absolute favorites, again, from Latafa. The Raghbas in particular, I really, you know, enjoy a lot, because the Raghbas, they're like they're giving you a taste and feel of Middle Eastern, kind of soft and powdery and lots of woody elements, but not that heavy on the patchouli and the amber. It's really smooth and soft and sweet and kind of easy to really like or love, in my opinion. So this is my 15th Middle Eastern fragrance that I have in my collection that I absolutely love. These are my top 15 altogether, you guys. So there you have it, you guys. These are my favorite Middle Eastern fragrances, my favorite scents in my perfume collection. I have quite a few Middle Eastern scents because I left off a few of them, but these ones that I gave you guys are like the best in my collection, in my opinion, the best Middle Eastern fragrances that you can find. That's how I feel, because again, I like, you know, true and as close as possible to Middle Eastern vibe. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a very big thumbs up. If you guys are new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that notification bell so that way you will be notified every single time I upload. And for those of you who are my returning subscribers, thank you guys for your continuous support. And until next time, see you guys in my next video. Bye.